What is up guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'll be going over how to get lower ping and potentially even reach zero ping in Fortnite. This video will cover a bunch of the most effective methods that you can use to get lower ping and improve your performance no matter where you live or how low or high your ping already is. If you go on to enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like on it and consider subscribing as well if you want to see more content just like this in the future. And as well as that guys, I've also begun streaming a lot more often on Twitch. On stream you can ask me any of your questions about improving at Fortnite. I'll be hosting viewer box fights and Zone Wars and playing a bunch of Champs Arena and stuff like that. So if any of that sounds cool to you, be sure to drop a follow over at twitch.tv/techo or head to the link in the description. That way you'll be notified whenever I go live. With that said though, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So with this video guys, I really wanted to focus on the most effective methods, and to be honest with you guys, when you look at guides to lower your ping, oftentimes you're gonna have to do a bunch of fancy adjustments on your command prompt and stuff like that. You'll have to make restore points just in case you mess up and do a bunch of other crazy advanced stuff that none of us understand. But if you've been around my channel, you know I don't roll like that. So in this video, we're going to be mainly focusing on the simple stuff that you can do, which will have a huge impact on your ping. But before we do hop into that, I want to explain something about ping that a lot of players seem to not understand, and that's the location aspect of your ping. The thing about your ping is that it's literally just based on how fast your device communicates with the Epic Games servers. So even if you do have the world's best and fastest internet, if you live 1,000 miles away from the closest server, then you're simply not going to have great ping. So while there are plenty of things you can do to actually lower your ping, many of which we'll be covering in this video, it might simply not be possible for some players to get zero ping. For me personally, I live in Florida in the United States, and the closest server is in the state of Virginia, which is quite some distance away from me. So even though I do have pretty good internet and my PC is fairly optimized, the lowest I can realistically get is around 20 ping on a good day, maybe 15 if I'm playing creative. That's all simply due to distance, and there's really not much that I can do to get around that. I just wanted to clear that all up, as a lot of people seem to wonder why it's not possible for them to get zero ping despite doing everything I say correctly. Regardless of what some YouTubers might tell you, it's simply not possible for some of us to get purely zero ping, but the goal for this video is to at least get your ping as low as it can possibly get. I know a lot of people talk about how the title says zero ping and they can't get zero ping, so I just wanted to clear that all up. So with that said, hopefully that gives you a bit more context regarding how your ping actually works. So let's move on to the actual adjustments that you can make to lower your ping and get as close to zero as you can possibly get. The first change that all you guys should make, if you haven't already, is setting up an Ethernet cable. You can easily grab an Ethernet cable at Best Buy or on Amazon for something like $5 to $10 US, and if you're not already running a wired connection, this can literally cut your ping straight in half depending on your situation. Personally, I used to play around 40 to 50 ping and drop to a consistent 25 to 30 after getting an Ethernet cable. So while this tip is obviously extremely simple in nature, it really is one of the most effective things you can do to lower your ping in Fortnite. So I strongly recommend that you guys grab an Ethernet cable, preferably category 7 or 8. All you've got to do is plug the cable into your router, plug it into your console or PC, and you're literally all set. Basically what this does is it makes it so your connection goes through a cable instead of essentially flying through the air between your router and your device, and as you might expect, that makes a huge difference when it comes to having consistently low ping. Another super easy tip you can use to lower your ping in Fortnite is to simply reduce the load on your network. Oftentimes, if you have other apps like YouTube, Spotify, or Netflix playing while you're trying to play Fortnite, or you have other devices in the house that are also taking up bandwidth, it can really use up a lot of your connection space and result in you having much higher ping than usual. Even simply watching a video on the side can take up a lot of your bandwidth space and result in less room for your game to run, thus making your ping higher since your internet is kind of handling more at once. Now obviously you probably aren't able to just, well, kick everyone else off your internet, but if you can figure out some way to minimize your network usage while you're playing, it should benefit your ping quite a bit, especially if your internet speed isn't very fast. Another quick tip I have is to simply perform a virus scan on your PC. Obviously malware and viruses can use up a lot of your bandwidth if they happen to be on your PC, and although it's not a super common issue for most players, it's definitely worth making sure that you don't have anything, because this can cause a lot of packet loss, high ping, and other network issues. All you've got to do this is download the software Malwarebytes, which you can find at malwarebytes.com, and then just run the quick scan that they offer for free. Let it run through fully, and the software is basically going to let you know if you have viruses or malware that need to be addressed. It's a quick and simple step, but it can make a massive difference if it does turn out that you have something you don't want on your PC, and obviously if it doesn't find anything, you can rest assured knowing that you don't have any viruses. Alongside that guys, I want to bring up another option that might be worth pursuing for some of you guys, and that option is using external software to lower your ping. I've actually been working with a company known as NoPing, and I wanted to mention their product in this video when it comes to lowering your ping. If you don't know yet, NoPing is an app that essentially reroutes your connection, making you essentially closer to the Fortnite server than you really are. I know it sounds a bit weird, but if you happen to live far away from the Fortnite servers, this option can actually lower your ping dramatically. NoPing also has a free trial if you use my link down in the description. That way you can see how much it actually lowers your ping and see if you want to continue. As you can see, it definitely lowers my ping by quite a bit, and especially if you have high ping currently and want it to be lower, no ping is definitely a great option to try out. With that said, if you want to try out no ping for free, be sure to head to the link in the description. That way you can get a free trial to see if you like it. Moving on to the next method though, and the next thing I want to mention when it comes to lowering your ping is simply checking your basics. Your basics really just means the basic things that are kind of common sense that you probably wouldn't even think about. Some of the basics might include making sure your internet is wired properly and everything is tightened, making sure that you've got the right region selected on Fortnite, and something like making sure your drivers are all up to date, which you can do on PC by heading into your device manager, selecting network adapters, going to your Ethernet adapter, assuming you use an Ethernet cable, and then simply searching for drivers to make sure that they're all up to date. Those are three of the biggest things that many people don't tend to look at, so if you haven't checked any of those three factors yet, then be sure to do so, as fixing them could improve your ping by quite a bit. Finally guys, my last tip for this video might be a bit of an unexpected one, but that's to prioritize FPS boost as well as optimizing your ping. To be completely honest with you guys, you can be a really successful player even on pretty high ping. As you can see from pros like Benji, who managed to place at the top of tournaments on 60 or even up to 100 or more ping. For a lot of players, they tend to fully blame either ping or FPS for their performance issues and don't really fix both of them. So if you find that you've gone through these methods and your game still feels a bit rough, then I definitely recommend that you look up some guides on how to boost your FPS. Whether you want to watch one of my guides or someone else's, boosting your FPS as well as optimizing your ping should really give you the best bang for your buck. And since you're already here trying to improve your ping, it's definitely worth giving FPS a shot as well, since both of them tend to boost your overall performance in conjunction with one another. Now with that said guys, the methods that I've gone over in this video are going to make the majority of difference when it comes to your ping. Chances are, if you're struggling with packet loss, high ping, or a mix of both, these methods should help you quite a bit when it comes to lowering your ping and potentially even hitting zero ping. But with that said, there are certain little tweaks that you can do on your PC as well to make everything just slightly more optimal. Now, I have no technical background and don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to the crazy in-depth PC stuff, but obviously there is a certain value to it and pros have vouched for these methods various times. So if you've gone through all these methods and you still find your ping being a bit too high, I would recommend you check out the content creator Adam X, who makes videos where he goes fairly in-depth and shows a lot of the smaller tweaks that you can do on your PC to kind of squeeze the most you can out of it. His most recent video was made in March, but the tips in that video should all still be relevant, so feel free to check that out if you want to try and lower your ping even further. But with all that said guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video on how to lower your ping and potentially get zero ping in Fortnite. If this video helped you out, be sure to drop a like on it and consider subscribing as well if you want to see more content just like this in the future. As well as that guys, if you'd like to help me out a bit extra, then consider using code TECHO in the item shop, as it really does help me out a bunch. And finally, the Twitch link is going to be near the top of the description if you want to check that out as well. With all that said, thank you all for watching this video and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.